Hello everyone, this is Sadia Malik and this is unit number 5 of the first year English textbook. The name of the unit is It's Country for Me by Patricia DeMoth. First, a little bit about the writer. Patricia Brennan DeMoth, an American writer from Iowa, has written several books for children, including Thomas Edison and His Bright Idea, Gorillas, and The Bad Talking Parrot. Patricia moved with her family to an Illinois farm where she and Jack DeMuth, a photographer, spent an entire year documenting the life of a farm kid, Joel. So, the story that you're going to read, it is part of the book that she wrote about that boy. Now, this is the cover of that book, Joel growing up a farm man. And the boy that you see in the picture, he is the boy, Joel, that you also read about in the unit. Patricia DeMuth wrote the book Joel Growing Up a Farm Man, which was awarded Best Children's Book of 1982 by the Society of Midland Authors. So this is a real boy that we are talking about in the story as well. And you can see the muddy boots and the cap and the way he has been shown here. This is exactly what he used to look like in the real life. There are some pictures also, as I told you, that her husband was also with her and he documented the whole farm life where Joel was living. So this boy here is Joel, and this is how he was, loading the hay bales in his farm. This is another picture in which you can see the writer and Joel at the top of this water tank, and you can see how big the farm actually is. And you can also see a tractor working in the fields. Now, as far as Holland farms are concerned, this is the real farm in America on which the story is based. It was bought by the great-great-grandfather of Joel, whose name was James Holland. So he was the initial buyer. He was an Irish immigrant, meaning that he came from Ireland and he settled in America. He bought the farm in 1860. The farm was in Wisconsin, USA. The farm was 245 acres large. It was part of the corn belt where usually corn was grown. Hollands have been here for 5 generations now. So Joel is the 5th generation. They have been working on the farm for the last 120 years. So almost like more than 1.25 century. They mainly raise livestock over there, means that they raise animals and they sell them for meat. They also grow corn, oats and hay, but that is for their own use. And the whole farm is worth $1 million, which means that it is quite a successful business that they are having. Now, as far as the boy Joel is concerned, he is the son of Ed and Betty Holland. So they are the parents. He is 13 years old and he is the youngest child. He has 5 other siblings. So they are total 6 in total. The name of the other 5 siblings is Bill, Terry, Kevin, Kathy, and Marty. He loves to hunt deer and trap wildlife in the fall. Fall is in the winter. He also likes to play softball, basketball, fishing, and water skiing in summer. He doesn't like rainy days because all his boots become muddy and he has to walk in mud all day. He studies in grade 8th. He's a very good student. He scores overall 99% in the national testing. He has shown to be very alert, attentive, responsible, and hardworking in this unit. He loves the freedom of the farm life because he feels that he can do whatever he wants to do and there's no fixed routine as far as the city life is concerned. So he feels that he is more at freedom in a farmhouse. He works outdoor for 8 to 15 hours and that is too much for a 13-year-old. Our city children do not do that kind of work, especially when it comes to manual work. And when somebody asked him, he said that he would choose country life over city life. That is where the title is coming from. It's country for me, which means that if you give me a choice, I would always choose the country life, that is the rural life, over the city life. Now, what is the main idea? The main idea of the lesson is that we must not consider farming a minor profession. Especially in Pakistan, when somebody says that he belongs to agricultural family, people usually do not think very high of that person. Oh, you belong to the village and you do not know anything. So we must not think that to live in the countryside is a bad thing. All the supply of food that we eat comes from the field and farms. The aim of education should not be to go for an office job. That is what happens in Pakistan. We go for a white collar job, sitting in an office, maybe doing an executive job. Education must polish your personality and you can do any job, choose any profession after your education. The children should help their parents and elders in their work. It brings prosperity and progress. For example, the Holland farm is there for 120 years now. If the children would not help their parents, the farm would have died after the first generation. Theme is more like the main idea. The author has described the fact that hard work is the key to success. Every profession is prestigious and honorable. Every profession is sacred. Nature is attractive and it cannot be found in cities. We should not quit our heritage and culture. Everyone is attached to his traditions and culture. The children usually follow the trade of their father. They might be doing small jobs that they are not considered very important, but they keep on learning from the elders. Even when they watch the elders do something, they learn. Physical labor is good for growing children. It makes them strong, both physically and mentally. So we see that Joel, 13-year-old, is very different from a 13-year-old city boy. So he's quite strong and he does a lot of things very responsibly. So this is the red area on the map is where the farm is actually. And these are the pictures of any modern farm that you would find in America. So it's the establishment looks like this. Now your comprehension questions. The first one was analyze the text and give one example each of fact and opinion. So first of all, we need to understand how is fact different from opinion. A fact refers to something true or real which is backed up by evidence and documentation. It deals with numbers and figures and the year, the number of people, the money invested, etc. So when you say that I was born on 27th March, this is a fact because it is backed by evidence and documentation. But an opinion is what a person believes or thinks about something. For example, you can say that tomorrow is Thursday. So that would be a fact. But if you would say that Thursday is the most important day of the week, so that would be your opinion because other might feel differently. So as far as the facts are concerned, Joel Holland has lived on this 245-acre farm since he was born 13 years ago. This is a fact because we know the acreage. We also know how old Joel is. Joel is the youngest of Ed and Betty Holland's 6 children. This is also a fact because there are 5 other siblings and we know that the parents are Ed and Betty. Opinion would be more like something that you can change from person to person. I'll give anything to be plowing instead. So anything would be like anything in the world, but that would differ from person to person. Joel is extremely alert and watchful like a cat. Again, this is an opinion of the writer, but it can be different. The father would think differently. Maybe the mother believes in a different opinion. How coherence and cohesion is achieved in the essay. Illustrate with examples. Again, we need to know what these terms actually stand for. Coherence is the logical connectivity and organization of ideas or concepts within sentences and paragraphs. So there should be a logical connectivity between one sentence and the other. So they should relate to one another. They should not feel out of place. Cohesion means grammatical accuracy. Cohesion, on the other hand, means that your sentence is grammatically correct. But you should remember that a sentence can be cohesive without being coherent. For example, an octopus is an air-filled curtain with 7 heads and 3 spikes-filled fingers. As far as the grammar is concerned, this sentence is perfectly all right. The adjectives are at the right place, the verb is there, etc. But if you look at the coherence, this sentence does not mean anything. An octopus is an air-filled curtain with 7 heads and 3 spike-filled fingers. What does it mean? So although it is cohesive, this is not coherent. So a good essay has to be both. It has to be cohesive and it has to be coherent. In the essay, the sentences and paragraphs are linked together and the ideas flow easily. The use of linking words and transitional devices is done. The main theme and idea has been supported by relevant details throughout the essay. The language is easy and appropriate. So the title is It is Country for Us, and throughout the essay, we come across examples in which Joel actually loves the life that he's living. Explain the significance of the title. So the story is about a 13-year-old boy, Joel, who lives on a farm. His family has been working on the farm for 5 generations. Everything about Joel and his activities show that he prefers his farm life over city life. At the end of the essay, he says, after living out here, I don't think I'd ever want to be in the city. His life of the farm and its animals, work and atmosphere and land are the whole world to him. So that is why he says it's country for me. Country here means countryside, rural area. Describe Joel's treatment of Lambie, the orphaned lamb, Jessica, the small dog. What does this show? It shows that animals are taken proper care of at the farm and they are more like a part of the family. Joel did not mind getting out of the warm bed to feel Lambie, which shows his attachment to the animals. Jessica follows him and Lambie jumps after seeing Joel, which again shows how attached the animals are with the farm owners. Now, animals are very expressive. If they love somebody, they show it. And both these animals, Lambi and Jessica, they show that they are very attached to Joel. Compare and contrast your daily routine with that of Joel. How would you rate the motivational level of your doing work with that of Joel? So this is a very subjective kind of a question, and you can answer from your own routine. But I have tried to somehow write about the routine of an average city 13-year-old. Joel has been living on a 245-acre farm since he was born. He's a student in grade 8th. He often gets A and B grades in an exam. He's an alert and vigilant student. After school, he helps his family on the farm. He goes in and out of the barn at least 10 times a day. He works in the field for hours and even at night. He jumps fences, opens and closes gates, feeds animals, drives farm machinery, walks and runs miles, and lifts and shovels pounds upon pounds, and eats about 2,600 calories. In contrast, a student living in a city goes to the school. After school, most of them have to go to an academy. They are not as physical as Joel is. Although they try to help their families, but there isn't much to do around the house. Joel loves outdoor sports, but teenagers in cities usually spend their lives watching TV and surfing internet, while Joel lives in fresh and clean environment. The city children, they live in polluted and artificial environment. Next question is, what skills one required to learn if he wants to be a full-fledged farmer? To run a farm like this, farmers have to have many skills. They have to be machine operators, driving immense powerful vehicles. They have to be mechanics, repairing them, husbandmen, raising livestock, veterinarian, tending them when they are sick, agriculturists, growing food on large scale, and business people managing, like Joel's father, a farm operation worth nearly $1 million. So you have to juggle many hats. So you need to learn all these skills to be a good, successful farmer. In what ways Joel played the role of an adult? Although he's a 13-year-old, a boy who lives on a farm with his family near Scalesmont, he works on the farms with his family. He's a student in grade 8. He often gets A and B grades in exam. He scores 99% in the national testing. He is an alert, vigilant student. He helps his family in raising crop and cattle. He is extremely alert and watchful like a cat. He gets an idea of what is going on and what is going to happen from the talks of his father and brother. So he is always listening to what they are talking about. He keeps ears on everything his father talks about with others, so he can tell what is going on. All the duties that he performs are the ones performed by adults as well. So if you compare with any city grown-up, I think Joel works even more than a city grown-up. The amount of labor work that he does on the farm is equal to any adult. So although he's a child, he's a 13-year-old, and his work does not, stand out. But as far as small tasks here and there are concerned, he does a lot. And he's a very significant member of the farm. And he is a farmer in the making, because he says that he would love to stay on the farm. And he is a future farmer. So he's learning everything very keenly. He listens to everything that the father talks about. He watches how things are done. So he's a very good observer. So when the time would come, and when he's a grown up, he's ready to take the farm and do his part. Already his two brothers are already managing their own farms in the neighborhood. So these were your questions, and please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and also click on the bell icon if you want some future notifications. Thank you so much. Do ask any question that you want to in the comments box. Thank you.